Well, more games in the 3 p.m. UK time kickoff in the Premier League. We're going to start at Stamford Bridge because for long chunks of this game, it looked like Chelsea were going to narrow the gap at the top on leaders Liverpool to just 1 point. And then things changed. Mark Donaldson, Luis Miguel, Echegaray, Janusz, Michallik at the bridge. Chelsea won up and leading thanks to a brilliant goal from Cole Palmer. And Fulham, well, you didn't give them much chance of coming back. And the reason for that is they hadn't scored at the bridge in the Premier League since 2011. And they hadn't won there since October 1979. LME, not only did they score, but they scored twice. And they won for the first time in 45 years. How did Fulham do that today?
Marco Silva played a great game today. He led a really good strategy. He loaded up that midfield. He pushed Anthony Robinson up, who in my opinion is the best left back in the Premier League. He made them compact, and he knew that Chelsea were going to come with everything, especially the moment they lost the ball. So Marco Silva said, all right, I'll raise you. We won't lose the ball. They had more passes than Chelsea, and even though they went down due to a Cole Palmer's opener, they still persevered. And here's the theme for Fulham Football Club this season, MD and Janusz. To me, it's about being a collective unit. And the moment you go forward, simplify things. Make it very simple. Go forward, go wide, and penetrate. And I thought it was a really, really smart move. And obviously, it wasn't one of these scintillating performances, but it was a victory. And also, when you look at the statistics, they were pretty even against the Blues. And to your point, they haven't won here in a very long time, but it's been the trend here for Fulham. And I'm very, very impressed. Even though Raúl Jiménez didn't score, he led the line, he was physical, and of course, it was Muniz that came in later, but it was a really good, professional performance from the Cottagers. Well done winning against Chelsea.
Even Janusz, when they were a goal down, they still had opportunities. And I'm glad LME mentioned Anthony Robinson because he was bombing up and down that left-hand side, had a chance. It was well saved by Robert Sanchez. But after Harry Wilson equalises in the 82nd minute, you've got to be more disciplined, surely, when trying to chase a winner. And it came from Robert Sanchez, and it wasn't a great kick out, and Fulham had a 3-on-1, and they took advantage of that. But is that a lack of experience when it comes to trying to chase a winning goal, having been pegged back? Or what is it? Because at least Chelsea should have had a draw, and in the end, they go home with nothing.
Okay, so, yeah, I'll answer that. Fulham, first of all, I mean, you're right. And on top of it, they're a very good team. The goalposts have changed. The goalposts have changed for Fulham, right? They showed that, last year and this year. They're no longer playing just to survive in the Premier League. They know that they're good enough to be fighting for Europe, for something bigger. And you could see that. I mean, the draws against Arsenal, Liverpool, I mean, it's been on an uptick. Good two substitution. Howard Wilson is making a habit of that, by the way. And Rodrigo Muniz, both of them come in. Both of them score. And you're quite right. You could sense it. You could smell it, even in the first half, certainly in the second half, that they could. Now, when it comes to Chelsea, as we said, I think the ups and downs are normal for that team at the stage of the rebuild. And although I think they should demand a lot more from themselves because this is a good opportunity. This is a great season to kind of win it. Looking at City, obviously Liverpool are strong right now, but I think they should demand more of themselves because with Chelsea now, I almost feel like we don't have the right to demand anything from Chelsea, right? Did we not all say that they're going to be a disaster? So I almost feel like I have to give them benefit of the doubt. Although, yeah, I mean, dropping points away to Everton. We saw Everton today, obviously, playing. And this one, leading 1-0, they should have done more. And so they'd have to feel, I mean, not just 3 points lost, but at least if you can't win it, right? What do they say? Don't lose it.
Oh, and the parameters have moved. And yeah, that was the case in the summer as far as what we expected of Chelsea. But their own form, their own excellent form and their excellent play and their middle to front play and their chance creations and their goal scoring has meant that the parameters have changed. And it's not what it was in the summer. And maybe, LME, they're a victim of their own early season success here. So that's why this one's going to hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it. The goalposts have changed. The objectives have changed. Janusz is right. We were all surprised at the beginning of the season, but now that's different. We're talking about a team that I know Maresca doesn't like to talk about it, and he's probably right, used to the example today, but this is a team that is right now pushing Liverpool to the title. Whether that happens or not, we'll wait and see, but it is that kind of a good team, and now we're being surprised by it. I think they just went through a hiccup. They're going through a hiccup right now. I think offensively, it's an issue. Everton did a good job at holding them. But I think today specifically, it was a situation where Marco Silva outcoached Maresca. Because in that midfield, when Chelsea push and they lose the ball, you got Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez kind of trying to hold fort. But what Marco Silva said, as I mentioned earlier, was let's modify and strengthen that midfield and let's capitalize on that. And I think it was just a good performance. I don't have any issues from Chelsea moving forward. I think they'll still push for a top four and keep fighting, specifically because they have such a monstrous squad. But at the end of the day, today, I think it was just a really good battle-ridden performance from Fulham, and Maresca and Chelsea felt it.
Janusz, with regards to Chelsea and goal scoring, what's changed? Because prior to Harry Wilson's goal today, it was going to be a good win without being a great performance. It was just get the job done and get over the line, happy days, 3 points, on you go home. But they didn't get enough from Nico Jackson today, and they replaced him with Nkunku. So are we starting to see the fact that Cole Palmer, as a brilliant player as he is, can only do so much, and he needs a little bit more help from elsewhere? And you've spoken with me and with LME on a number of occasions how you feel Nkunku is a better natural goal scorer than Nicholas Jackson. Should we be expecting more for Jackson right now?
Standing, right? I mean, Nico Jackson's been in very good form, proving me wrong. I was just surprised. I'm still not 100% sure what happened with Madueke, by the way, but they could have done with him today. I think the out-coaching part also is maybe not recognizing from Maresca what was starting to happen in that second half. And again, we can sit here, but I was just looking, you look at Nkunku coming very late in the game, right? I think you needed to smell that and change that. And it just makes you wonder why he didn't make any more changes, right? You saw Mark Hughes scoring a hat-trick again. Okay, it's Shamrock Rovers, but I mean, he's been in decent form as well. João Felix, why not change things a little bit to give Fulham something to worry about, because there wasn't much of it. Pedro Neto towards the end starting to play, but that wasn't a great performance from him by any means. Jadon Sancho in the beginning, he looked lively, but obviously I was expecting maybe to make those changes. It's sometimes it's easy for us to say, well, look at Marco Silva, right? Harry Wilson comes in and Muniz. They've proven that they're good off the bench. We didn't see that from Chelsea. I don't know if we can say that the bench, makes that massive of a difference. I'm sure somebody can call me on other games, but today that spark I felt was needed, because from Fulham we knew it. You're quite right to point out Robinson; he's been outstanding. What about Alex Iwobi, right? I mean, the reemergence of him is quite incredible. Not just in this game, he's been their, I would say best player just about every game I watch. So it was missing. That spark of the bench today from Chelsea was missing, and for some reason Maresca chose not to use it, because even in Nkunku, when did he come in? 80th or whatever it was, a minute. So that was very disappointing, because I mean, Maresca is smart. I mean, he saw that coming. This didn't, the Fulham didn't just wake up 5 minutes towards the end. They played a very, very good game at Stamford Bridge from start to end.
Yeah, this wasn't a smash and grab. I mean, Fulham had their opportunities when they were a goal down. We've seen games where you've got 75% possession, you get done by 2 late sucker punches. This wasn't one of them. And for Chelsea, it's a missed opportunity. But for Fulham, I'm always reticent to kind of just focus purely on the big team that loses the game when the team that's not expected to win gets the victory. It's an excellent 3 points for Fulham. They're in form, they're flying right now, and as Janusz said earlier, that's a good win at Chelsea. That's a good point against Liverpool at Anfield, and a good point against Arsenal.